SMT Nation, we are back. Nation, we got to talk about what AT&T is doing here. I think we're starting to see their plan come together. They're very, very busy in wireline, and it's really important to their wireless adoption too. One hand washes the other. I think AT&T's got their eyes on the prize. I'll provide a link for this article that inspired this video. It is from Catherine, and this one is at rcrwireless.com. Link in the description. Ways to support us can be found there as well. Please do like and share this video. Subscribe if you're new here, and turn on the bell notification icon to never miss an upload from the SMT. All right, folks, we got commentary from CEO John Stankey back in July, and I think this was at their earnings or like an investor conference. I forget what it was. I feel like maybe both. Speaking about the race to convergence, and by this, what he's referencing is wireless and wireline, right? Home broadband and wireless connectivity, bundling the connection between the two, customer uptake, and taking both services from a single brand. That's AT&T's go-to strategy. We want to get people on our wireline service, slam dunk to get them on wireless, right? Throw them a discount. It all makes sense to the consumer. This opens the door for more opportunities to deepen the relationship with the customer. In and of itself, all of that is true. It's true for their company. It's true for other companies. This is how it works with consumers. Now, the second piece to this is, how do you increase your fiber reach? How do you increase your wireline reach? AT&T is expanding their footprint. They already offer their wireline connections within like 45% of the footprint of the US, making them one of the biggest providers, if not the biggest wireline providers in the country. It's their legacy. It's what they've had, basically for the last 100+ years. But now AT&T is going to be teaming up with other companies to have collaborations for wireline services. So even if it is not their broadband network, they still have connection to it. So for example, with BlackRock investment, with Gigapower, and, they're looking at other open access platforms and building their native footprint at the same time. They're starting to really web kind of their connectivity options to customers. They're treating customer access like a surface area. How much reach can we have? I came across another story on how AT&T is teaming up with Kinetic by Windstream. Kinetic has an 18-state footprint, not saying they're available in all parts of those 18 states, but the fact that you're going to leverage AT&T's 5G network and then Kinetic's broadband internet options makes it so it's got that convergence factor. So we're talking about millions of customers over that footprint where AT&T has additional access to them in places where AT&T doesn't have their fiber or native fiber network built. So this means through that Kinetic collaboration, you're going to see AT&T wireless customers getting Kinetic's high-speed broadband at a $20 discount for 2 years. So that seems to be the structure. This obviously giving a discount to the services makes the deal more attractive to customers, and it benefits both Kinetic and AT&T. AT&T getting access to new customers, Kinetic, getting access to more customers as well. They're helping each other. I know there's also a gift card involved that may help people switch to AT&T wireless, and that makes a lot of sense. And additional upgrades, and possibly there's some plan upgrades for the Kinetic folks. I mean, this really is what the emphasis is going to be in the future. So AT&T is building out their native fiber network. They've got open access platforms that they're selling and accessing. They're their own customer in that respect. And now they've got partnerships with companies like Kinetic. And I don't think that's going to be the only one. I think they're going to form multiple versions of this, and they're going to have access to the customers. And this is what Verizon sees. This is what T-Mobile sees. This is why you see them moving the way they're moving. I think what ends up happening, guys, is it's an arms race. Who gets to certain places first ends up being the one that enjoys the fruits of the labor at that time. Because once AT&T gets to places with Kinetic might be like one of the few options in those places. And why the hell would Verizon or T-Mobile then go to those same markets, find and form a similar partnership, only to compete for, just pennies on the dollar? AT&T is going to these places. If they're first, then they basically become the only game in town in a similar framed partnership. And that's what we saw Verizon do with Frontier. And that's what we see T-Mobile doing with Lumos and some of those providers. It all kind of makes sense, but expect these things to continue to happen for AT&T, other carriers. Partnerships, access to platforms that get them in these places and these connections to these customers. Hell, if they can improve ARPU, margins, adding customers, I mean, they're hunting right now, guys. They want our business badly, and they're willing to do whatever it takes. And it may come at a bit of the expense of these other providers. But the wireless, organic growth seems to have plateaued and peaked, and they're now looking for innovative ways to get access to customers. What's your take on this? Do you like what's going on here? Do you like what AT&T is doing? I think it's a good move for them. I think it's smart for them to do this, where they don't build their native network, where AT&T Internet Air is a limited proposition, or wireline option we understand is just simply better. It makes sense to me. What's your take? Sound off in the comment section below. Will this be a difference maker for AT&T? You are the voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard.